Hey everyone, my name is Sindo and welcome back to another 100%. Allow me to take you on the journey of finding every single collectible, acquiring every weapon, exploring every dimension, and collecting every single trophy in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Of course, with all my 100%s, this entire playthrough was streamed on my Twitch channel where I stream every day. Also, feel free to check out the 100% playlist. It's a great playlist to fall asleep to, in a good way. But without further ado, let's dive into Ratchet and Clank. Our story starts off with a new Lombax, Rivet, in the heart of Nefarious City. In this dimension, Dr. Nefarious, a recurring villain in the series, is the Emperor and all-powerful. As a wanted resistance fighter, Rivet takes on Nefarious forces before we cut to the present dimension, Ratchet being celebrated via a huge parade. Captain Goomba lists all of our accolades as we familiarize ourselves with the movement and controls of Ratchet. Acquiring the burst pistol, some goons attack the parade and it's our job to fend them off. We must do battle with the goon ship, and after destroying it, Ratchet and Clank have a moment where Clank explains he repaired the Dimensionator. Dr. Nefarious steals the device and we give chase. We fail and find Mrs. Zircon, who is the gun vendor. We acquire the Enforcer, which is basically a shotgun. Catching up with Nefarious, he uses the Dimensionator but Ratchet shoots it and chaos ensues. Dimensions are opening up everywhere out of control. We learn a new ability that allows us to pull through dimensional holes to move throughout the area. Finding Mrs. Zircon, we grab the Shatter Bomb, which is basically just grenades. We do catch up with Nefarious again and fight his mech suit. Destroying it, Nefarious uses the Dimensionator again and opens a huge rift that takes us through a ton of dimensions. Arriving in the dimension we saw in the beginning of the game with Rivet, the Dimensionator explodes and Ratchet and Clank get separated. Rivet finds Clank and Nefarious takes his place as Emperor in this dimension. As Ratchet, we explore the city and find Miss Zircon, who is also a weapons dealer, so we grab the Mr. Fungi. Around many of the map's pocket dimensions are hidden that offer various challenges in order to acquire new armor pieces and sometimes collectibles. In finding our first pocket dimension, we grab a nice trophy, and doing some bouncing, we can also grab our second trophy of the game. Completing the dimension grants us the Robot Disguise helmet as well as another trophy. We grab our first Krager bear, I'm just going to say teddy bear going forward because that word sucks, and in doing so gets us another trophy. This collectible is more of a pain as the bears themselves are pretty well hidden. Anyways, we arrive at Club Nefarious and we're looking for the Phantom who can help us. Hell breaks loose in the club and we give chase and take a little detour to acquire our first gold bolt as well as another trophy. Catching up with the Phantom, he gives us the ability to dash, which lets us pass through blue shields around the city. We also get the ability to wall run, so getting around is a bit easier now. Making it to the rooftops, Phantom tells us we need to take out the Nefarious blimp and he'll help us out after that. Zircon now gives us the ability to use rare Antium to upgrade our weapons, and the upgrades are pretty substantial, giving us more ammo and damage. Phantom hacks into the blimp and starts trying to rile up the citizens while we're given the task of wiping out all the troops. The blimp is taken out and Phantom gives us Glitch, who will be important when hacking computers. Phantom gets captured and we ride down a beautiful rail to see the city. Back at Miss Zircon, we grab the Negatron Collider. Finding our way inside of a shipping factory, we do some platforming and grab our second gold bolt as well as our first spy bot and another trophy. Doing some parkour, we also grab our third gold bolt. We begin our assault on Nefarious Tower and a Nefarious Juggernaut is in our way. This thing is a little tricky as it does a decent amount of damage and we're pulled through different dimensions during this fight. We take care of business and use Glitch for the very first time. Glitch is basically a minigame where we do tiny tank-esque tasks destroying virus nests in order to gain access to the tower. Confronting the good doctor, we smack the hell out of him and steal a ship and cut to Rivet arriving in Sargasso. Sargasso is a pretty lush planet with acidic creatures and pools of acid everywhere. We find a pocket dimension and meet Mayland. We gain access to Speedles, which is a mount we can ride on the acid, a nice way to get around. Completing the dimensions, we get the Galactic Ranger helmet. Continuing on, we battle with a Grunthor and level up the blast pistol level 5 to grab another trophy. Our goal was to meet up with Rivet's friend Mort and goons have taken over. We take care of the goons and save Mort and his people. Talking with Miss Zircon, we snag the Ricochet. Interacting with a strange anomaly, Clank takes charge and meets Gary, a sort of godlike being that gives us some advice on how to complete these meta terminals. Essentially, we need to complete 3 levels of guiding Clank clones to unlock doors in order to beat this. Each room gets progressively difficult and different orbs will make the clones faster, heavier, and so forth. In completing the 3 challenges, the anomaly is cleared and we grab another trophy. More goons and a Grunthor are battling, so we clear them out, and before we can lower a bridge to progress, we need to fight off even more goons that are guarding the bridge controls. Grabbing another gold bolt, we lower the bridge and use a speedo and grab another gold bolt along with a trophy. Finding our way inside of a cave, we discover another pocket dimension and grab the robot disguise boots. Cranking open a door, we arrive at Rivet's base where she views the memories of Clank to verify his story. The base is then attacked by the Secret Pede and Clank is stolen from us. We give chase on a speedo and defeat the behemoth and snag another trophy. Now leaving the planet, we land at the Skartsu debris field since we need to fix Clank's communication relay and find Zerky who can fix it. Also, almost forgot, before we really move on, we head back to Sargasso to complete another pocket dimension to acquire the robot disguise chest armor, and back at Rivets we make sure to grab the teddy bear. Back to the debris field, we head inside Zerky's and you guessed it, grab another teddy bear. Going up to the bar, we talk with Zerky and ask for Pierre, who might have a signal booster. In order to talk with Pierre, we need to compete in the arena. The arena is an assortment of challenges from bronze to gold, and right now only bronze is open. Completing the first challenge, we get the pirate boots and Pierre summons François, which I definitely butchered, to fight in his place. We decimate the pirate and Pierre gives us a signal booster as promised, and we get another trophy. The booster works and Ratchet talks with Rivet and the group agrees to rebuild the Dimensionator since Dr. Nefarious has crowned himself Emperor. Since we're here, we take on the rest of the bronze challenges, and honestly, the Enforcer challenge is nuts. Goons are spamming shots and eventually start flying. We move on to a different challenge for the time being, and it's just an easy speedo time trial. Since we completed it, we are rewarded a gold bolt. After a few more attempts, we take down the Enforcer challenge and move to the final challenge available, an undead Grunthor. Sue the Grunthor, to be specific, honestly is laughable, and we breeze past the beast to get the Carbonox boots. We snag the lightning rod and get, of course, another trophy. Finding a pocket dimension, we easily complete the pocket to acquire the Q-Force helmet. With the power gravity boots, we boost jump to get another gold bolt. We go to leave and Nefarious has a message for us. He is offering a massive bounty to hunt the Lombaxes, aka Rivet and Ratchet. After those promising words, we head back to Sargasso and we need to help Trudy, this crazy flying beast, get Zerpstones, which is basically its food. After collecting 15, we grab another trophy and we grab a few more to get the Ranger boots. We now have the ability to fly on Trudy to collect the rest of the Zerpstones, and after even more we can shoot fire and we kill a Grunthor to get another trophy. We do snag another gold bolt while flying, so that's nice as well. After collecting a whopping 60 Zerpstones, we are rewarded with a spy bot. As Ratchet, we head to Savali and meet Gary in the flesh, that godlike being that Clank interacts with from earlier. Monktown is under attack and it's up to Ratchet to save it. After liberating, we must access the archives, but it's on the move, and Gary's apprentice, who looks just like Clank, falls off and agrees to team up. We acquire the hover boots, which lets us fly all over the place at pretty insane speeds. Doing a trick move at full speed, we grab another trophy and find our very first Lorb, one of 12 collectibles here on Savali. With enough bolts, we also grab the Drill Hound from Miss Zircon. Using our hover boots, there's various flying ship container things we must chase down that reward us with, for example, the robot pirate chest armor piece. We find our second Lorb and head to one of the 3 temples to free the monks of Savali. Gary's apprentice, or KT, accesses the terminal to save the monks, and we need to defend KT, and in doing so, we grab another trophy and free the monks. We meet with a monk scholar who is willing to trade us armor pieces for the Lorbs we collect, so we'll keep that in mind for a little later. While searching, we free another group of monks from the second temple. Defeating a gaggle of nefarious bots, we snag our third Lorb as well as another trophy. Hitting a series of switches in a timely fashion will unlock various shielded items so we can get our 4th Lorb doing this. Finding a pocket dimension, we complete the challenge and get the Lombax Praetorian boots. We find a second pocket dimension, just like before, we complete the challenge and are rewarded with the Captain Starshield helmet. We grab our 5th Lorb as well as another one of the speedy ships to get a gold bolt. In full collector mode, we snag our 6th Lorb as well as our 7th Lorb at the mountain temple. Making our way up to the mountain temple, we grab another teddy bear and arrive at the summit and use glitch to disable the shield holding the monks. The monks open a path and we launch ourselves to the archives, which gets us another trophy. We need to access the Vault of Knowledge, but of course nefarious forces are preventing that. Taking out the invasion commanders, we crank the archive open and gain access to knowledge and discover the Lombaxes created the archives. Turns out we need to head to Kadaro Station to find the forge to build the Dimensionaire, and KT now goes by Kit. Kit transforms into a Gundam and takes out the rest of the nefarious forces. We grab the Void Repulsor from Miss Zircon and trade our Lorbs for Wasteland boots and chest armor. Exploring more of the planet, we snag a spy bot and another gold bolt. With everything possible to collect for now, we head back to our ship and travel to Blizar Prime. Blizar Prime is an interesting place because we were introduced to dimension crystals that when we hit them will send us to a different version of the planet. We find a mysterious stranger in the dimension that Blizar is destroyed and do some gravity jumping to find another teddy bear. Back in the intact dimension, we collect another gold bolt. Continuing on, I take the time to uninstall Dying Light 2 because that game sucks balls, and we arrive close to the survey station. Hitting another crystal, we do some grav jumping to snag a gold bolt. We find the chief engineer and she asks us to find her science bots. As we find some of the bots, we head back to the chief engineer and we need to take care of the displaced juggernaut. Taking care of that beast, we head back to the main area and find ourselves a pocket dimension and get the Galactic Ranger chest armor. We head to the Wasp Caverns and snag another gold bolt. We meet Chef Tulio and we have to complete a honey harvest minigame, and in doing so grab another trophy. Finding a dimensional anomaly, it's up to Clank and his puzzle solving abilities to complete it. The anomaly is fixed effortlessly and we unclog the tube that powers the hydraulics of the drill. Grinding around, we arrive at the drill, which will help fix the Dimensionaire. As we power it on, something goes wrong and we are attacked by goons. Eliminating them, we smack some phase quartz with our wrench and take out the goon ship, but the drill destroys our quartz we were going to use for the Dimensionaire. Rivet mentions the fixer to fix the quartz and we snag another trophy. Before we leave for good, we make sure to grab the Q-Force boots. Dr. Nefarious goes on another ridiculous rant about the Lombaxes, how terrible they are, and blah 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 blah. Heading back to Savali, it's time to collect the last of the Lorbs. Solving a pretty basic puzzle, we grab our 8th Lorb. We grab the 9th Lorb, doing some platforming, and grab Lorbs 10, 11, and 12 to complete our collection. We then turn them into the Monk Scholar and get the Wasteland Gear helmet. Now officially done with Savali, we take a trip to Tauren 4. It is officially Operation Find the Fixer, and we immediately find a gold bolt, which is nice. We meet Volard, who is our gracious host of Tauren 4. He lets us know the Fixer is currently down because of all the pirates invading the planet. We snag another teddy bear and begin Operation Fix the Fixer. Not hidden in the slightest, we grab a spy bot, making that number 5. Doing some professional grinding. Man, that does not sound good at all. We grab another gold bolt and meet up with Pierre the Pirate yet again, who is hell-bent on revenge. Defeating the gaggle of pirates, we acquire the Hurl Shot, which lets us, hurl ourselves huge distances. We encounter Wee Roger, which isn't too much of a threat as it just kind of flies us and shoots very easy to dodge bombs. Pierre decides to shoot down his own command ship we happen to be on, so we crash land into Little Junktown. At Miss Zircon, we grab the Glove of Doom, which I think is very OP since it spawns little bots that decimate enemies. We do find another pocket dimension, and completing it rewards us with the Lombax Praetorian helmet. Hurling our way, we fight through a gauntlet of pirates and find out the shield pirates might be the most annoying enemy to fight. You can break their shields, but it takes so much damage, so trying to get behind the pirates or to the side of them is your best bet. After defeating the pirates, not so Wee Roger appears, and like its counterpart, nothing really crazy about this boss. Dodge and weave and you'll have no issues here. Continuing on, we crank the power to the Fixer and the behemoth rises. The Fixer thinks everything is broken and demonstrates its power, taking out the pirate ships and try to take out Rivet. Going through a series of jet set radio levels, we avoid the Fixer's attacks and unfortunately get grabbed, but Clank convinces the Fixer to help us out and fix the phase quartz, plus we grab another trophy. Wrapped up, we head to Cordillion to forge the Dimensionaire. Arriving at Kadara Station, we wipe out the nefarious forces and grab the Cold Snap, which freezes enemies. Smacking a Dimension Crystal, we transport to a snow-filled version of the station, head below. We need to find the Rubian Forge, but before we do, we snag a gold bolt. We meet a junk bot and it instructs us to drain the flight room. We do just that and follow the junk bot. Meeting Juice, we promptly ignore the beast, and this ends up being the Mr. Exodus level. I somehow got stuck in a wall, and if any glitch hunters or speedrunners are watching this, let me know if this means anything. Probably doesn't, but it would be cool to find that out. After getting free, we find the Rubian Forge in the other dimension, and the junk bot there is very loyal to Nefarious. In the Forge, we do find ourselves another spy bot. We go to activate the Forge and it explodes, of course, so we must escape to our dimension to survive. Successfully escaping, we find another pocket dimension, and completing it gets us the Captain Starshield chest armor. Finding the Forge in this dimension, we send in Glitch to help repair it. Successfully removing any threats and viruses, Glitch does a great job, and it's up to Ratchet to finish the repairs. So we suspiciously head through a pressurized door, and well, Juice is waiting for us. Juice is invincible, so we need to carefully lower the beast around while we power up the Forge. Powering up the Forge, we have a dreaded water section, but low-key it's not that bad. We snag another gold bolt and escape to the other dimension. We fight off the elite security detail and release Juice's counterpart, and now we have two beasts that want to meet up. They team up and power up the Forge to successfully repair the Dimensionaire, and we grab another trophy. Hitting another crystal, we snag yet another trophy. Back in the other dimension, we also grab another teddy bear that we missed earlier on. Using our hover boots, we also grab a gold bolt. Heading back to the debris field, Rivet and Ratchet finally meet in Lombax and exchange Clank for Kit. Before they can fix the Dimensionaire, Dr. Nefarious captures them, but they make an escape and Rivet does battle with Dr. Nefarious across different dimensions, and we also grab a trophy for doing tricks on the grind rail. Rivet defeats the Doctor, but Ratchet is defeated by the actual Emperor Nefarious, who is no joke. He defeats the Lombaxes effortlessly and steals the Dimensionaire. Back at the debris field, we can take on the silver challenges of the arena. A lot of the silver challenges are just waves of enemies either with specific weapons or, say, poison closing in. The Warmonger waves are actually quite tough, and it wasn't until I upgraded the weapon that I was finally able to beat that challenge. We do snag a trophy during the challenge, so that's a plus. The final silver challenge we need to beat is Revenge of the Scolopede, and honestly, pretty disappointing how easy this fight was. For a revenge fight, I was just expecting more of a challenge, maybe some new phases to the fight. Defeating the Scolopede rewards us with the Carbonox Advanced Chest Armor. Heading to Ardolis. Back as Ratchet, our mission is to save Pierre the pirate. Before we can start the rescue, we find a pocket dimension and grab the Captain Starshield boots. The evil pirates have Pierre hanging above water, and if they hit the dinner bell, a kraken will reach out and eat him. We take care of the pirates and crank the hole Pierre is above shut, saving Pierre. He lets us know to complete the trials at Skull Mountain. At Misurcon, we snag the Headhunter sniper rifle and begin to make our way to Skull Mountain. Apparently I say skull really weird. Please let me know. I swear it sounds right to me, but apparently not. We find the chest on our journey containing the Map-O-Matic, which reveals the location of every collectible in the game. Super useful. Hopping on a Speedle, we ride the mount and snag another gold bolt. Continuing on the Speedle, we make a quick stop to grab another spy bot. We arrive at the pirate trials, and our first test is rhythm. The pirate robots go in a specific order to create a song, and we simply have to shoot them in the correct order. Our second trial was technically a fight with a Grunthor, but unfortunately it's kinda dead, so we just move on to the next trial. We find the Glitch terminal, so we let, well, Glitch do her thing and remove the viruses. This unlocks a gold bolt for us. For our third trial, we must do naval combat. We grab ourselves a boat and defend ourselves against pirates until Crab Cakes McGee arrives. We defeat the not so challenging Crab Cakes and use the treasure crank to reveal our reward, the robot pirate helmet. We also grab another teddy bear chilling next to a treasure chest. Finding Pirate Quantum, we help defend his ship from the rival pirates. We then hit the gas to let the ship begin flying off planet, but more pirates intervene, so we need to fight them off. Starting the ship up again, it crashes, and now we need to fight off the Tide Twins. These twins aren't all that, and the Glow of Doom really shows how OP it can be, absolutely melting the twins in no time. To get the heat off our ship, we ring the dinner bell to summon the giant kraken thing from the start of this planet to help us destroy the enemy ship. Rifts are opening everywhere and Emperor Nefarious attacks us, but Captain Quantum sacrifices himself to save Ratchet. After that excitement, we head back to Sargasso and Emperor Nefarious is trying to take over the planet. We meet with Mort and we must free the Seekerpede. Using our trusty headhunter, we snag another trophy for 20 kills and it's time to kill Nefarious Juggernaut. Juggernaut is just like the others and, well, the Glove of Doom absolutely destroys. They jump the beast and with a final blow, the Juggernaut falls. We find an anomaly and this time Kit goes inside to solve the terminal puzzles. Once again, these anomaly puzzles are just a lot of fun and can be tricky in a good way. Complete the puzzles, we free the Seekerpede and the battle for Sargasso officially begins. Dr. Nefarious calls for his inner pain and enacts planetary devastation. We hop on Trudy and we need to destroy all ships bombarding Sargasso. We use Trudy to scoop up bombs that decimate the massive ships. The Emperor himself shows up and personally sends Rivet to a pocket dimension. Rivet begins to tell Kit how she found a secret entrance to Nefarious Tower but was attacked by something that took her arm, hence why she has a robotic arm now. We escape and get another trophy. We begin to make our way back to the debris field and the Emperor and the Doctor are discussing how they defeated Ratchet and Rivet, not knowing that they did in fact survive, and discuss the dimension map. We learn the Nefarious duo is heading to Savali now, so we need to detour straight there. Skeletons appear now called Bone Goons, but they aren't anything special. Defeating them, Ratchet comes up empty, so no map, so we see what's going on with Rivet. Rivet is at the archives and she boards Nefarious' flagship. Taking out a Juggernaut, Rivet finally meets Gary and he mentions he hid the dimension map in an anomaly to hide it from the Emperor. Back as Ratchet, we activate the pressure plates of Savali and head underground where we have Glitch go and destroy some viruses. This is technically the final virus Glitch will take out, so of course we fight and destroy the master virus. In doing so, we get another trophy referencing Jurassic Park, so pretty dope. We also snag a gold bolt. We crank open the door and hop on a Speedo, going through a ton of dimensions until we have to do battle with an undead Grunthor. It's time for Clank to head into an anomaly to retrieve the dimension map. This is for sure the most challenging anomaly with a pretty tricky final part that had quite the solution. Anyways, Clank gets the dimensional map, but the Emperor finds us and Rivet and Kit arrive. Kit transforms and Rivet is obviously scared now knowing Kit is the one who took her arm. Kit goes after the Emperor, but Dr. Nefarious uses the Dimensionator to send Kit away. Rivet, disappointed and confused, leaves Savali and we snag another trophy. Rivet goes to Zordoom prison where the others have been captured. We find Miss Urcon and get the
Bombardiro Crocodilo.
A bit deeper in, we snag another gold bolt and we are close to our 25 needed. Kraken Protocol is engaged in Sector 4, so we swing across the water and do some parkour until we arrive in the vent system of the prison. We grab our Ace Spybot as well in the vents. Dropping into the cells, we release Quantum and Clank, and the Emperor's assistant lets us know they aren't playing around, so we can't save Ratchet and Kit just yet. Heading outside, we sidestep some Goombas and grab our 24th gold bolt. We head into the prison transfer center and just go crazy here, decimating troops. We have to take on the transfer manager, which is just a nefarious juggernaut. We do find Ratchet and Kit who are in a cell that was about to get transferred. We latch on, have to do battle with a ton of troops and finally catch up with Ratchet, but we need to shut down the reactor. Before we take care of business, we do purchase the Black Hole Storm from Miss Urcon and also find a pocket dimension, and you guessed it, after completing it, we grab the Lombax Praetorian Chest. We successfully shut down the reactor and the Emperor's assistant isn't too happy with us and sends a ton of troops after us. We do learn that Ratchet and Kit are in the VIP prison cells, so shutting down the reactor did not free them. The prison cells are chaotic as all the prisoners have been freed but are fighting on our side against the nefarious forces. In one of the open cells, we grab our 25th and final gold bolt, which I found out apparently can give you infinite health and infinite ammo for the rest of the game, which, yes, I checked, you can still earn trophies. I don't activate it just yet as I feel like it could take away the experience of enjoying the game. We make it back to Ratchet and the prison starts emitting a green gas that will kill us, so we need to escape. We then have a huge battle outside against troopers, ships, juggernauts, and pretty much every nefarious enemy the game can throw at us. The Royal Guard escorts arrive, and they are just two beefed up ship enemies, so as long as we avoid their pretty devastating attacks, we're fine. We crank Ratchet's cell back to us, and the duo is saved, and Phantom arrives to give us an assist. Rivet and Kit try to reconcile, but Kit is too ashamed and agrees to stay back, thus earning us another trophy. Arriving back at the debris field, Ratchet gives Rivet a piece of his mind for leaving Kit. Heading into the bar, Quantum is there and gives some insight on how to find the Emperor. So this is pretty much the endgame, so we need to wrap up any loose ends before we talk to Quantum. We head back to the prison to pick up the final teddy bear, and that gets us a nice trophy. Back at the debris field, we take on the gold challenges. Similar to the bronze and the silver, a lot of challenges is surviving waves of enemies with randomized weapons or fighting previous bosses. After beating a single gold challenge, we do snag another trophy. We specifically beat a challenge that has us fighting room goons in low gravity, and after beating it, we snag our 9th spy bot. Before taking on the final challenge, we actually grab our 10th and final spy bot right outside the bar, and that allows us to grab the Rhino 8 weapon from Miss Zircon and another trophy. With that out of the way, it's time to take on the final gold challenge, which has us fighting Skolo and Sue, the undead Grunthor. For a final challenge, honestly, not really that bad and kind of disappointing. The Skolo doesn't really have hard to dodge moves, and the enemies that spawn in feel more challenging. With a final shot from the Negaton Collider, we snag the final piece of armor in the game and have completed every challenge. Before the final boss, we snag the Return Policy trophy, which requires basically a fully upgraded repulsor, so kind of a pain to get. We play a few different songs to the jukebox in the bar to grab another trophy. In order to do this, play one song, close the game, and rinse and repeat a few times, and boom, easy trophy. With practically everything done, we finally talk with Quantum, and Nefarious taunts the group and bullies the Doctor version cause why not. Nefarious is using the Dimensionaire, and Ratchet and Rivet team up with everyone they have met throughout their journey to bring the fight to the Emperor. Turns out Nefarious has used the Dimensionaire to create a rift back to Ratchet's home, where the game began. At this point, we have also 100% every weapon. It's not required, but it's still nice to show off. At this point, we finally take advantage of all the gold bolts we collected, so we have infinite health and infinite ammo, so we can just rain hell. Rivet joins the battle on top of our dragon friend, and we have to take on the Imperial Power Suit. This is the final battle, and everyone joins to help take out the Emperor. Ratchet kamikazes the ship with a ton of cakes directly into Nefarious, and everything is going smooth until I fall off the map and have to basically restart the entire fight. After defeating the power suit, we need to do some platforming in order to reach the heart. Using the Rhino, which drops objects from different dimensions, we annihilate the heart and its valves, and the suit is destroyed, leaving the Emperor exposed. The Emperor summons every troop he has, but luckily Kit arrives and destroys everything. Kit and Rivet have a moment, and now it's a 1v1 with Nefarious. Weapons like the Sprinkler makes quick work of the Emperor as it weakens him immensely, and the Rhino, well, cooks. At 1%, Nefarious attempts to escape, but Kit throws Rivet at him to deliver a final devastating blow, which should have gotten us a trophy, but it glitched. Nefarious is taken by the Kraken and pleads with Dr. Nefarious, but the Doctor denies his plea. Using the Dimensionaire, the rifts are all closed and everything is slowly getting back to normal. Ratchet and Rivet say their goodbye, and that wraps up Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. However, we're still missing a few trophies. We do unlock New Game Plus, which allows us to play through the game again, but harder. We actually do need to do this because 2 weapons are only obtainable in this mode, but before we do that, we defeat Nefarious again and finally get our trophy we missed. In New Game Plus, we snag the Pixelizer, and the Bouncer snag us our final trophy, as well as giving us the Platinum, thus completing the 100%. Overall, this wasn't too bad of a 100% to complete, and I had a blast playing through my very first Ratchet and Clank game. I for sure want to go back and play ours at some point, but if you enjoyed this 100%, consider subscribing and even liking the video. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.